what $1,000 of maintenance looks like. I guess we'll get to it. Ready. Clearly we have a lot going on right here. So we have engine oils and transmission fluid and filters and all this for the big truck and the new 6.7, which I'll explain as to when and why I had purchased that. For the Airdog, I'm probably going to be doing a tutorial on how to do that. Not super in depth, but if you guys have never installed one, you could easily do it at home. I'll put up the timer right here so you guys could just skip over to that real fast. In the beginning of this video, let's just start out doing oil changes, transmission oil, or fluid changes. That is actually a CP4 to DCR conversion for the 6.7. I actually think I'm probably just going to have that installed by someone else. I'm still super busy with work. So let's stop the talking and let's get going. Psych, I'm gonna eat this first. Here's the 6.7 Platinum I was talking about. We'll get to that later. Let's start off this video replacing this back pressure sensor. Probably wondering why I have small, ugly rims on 35s up front. It's because, and I got my normal wheels in the back. It's because we just did turbos on this thing and I hit the front end to come down a bit. It's a pain. My truck was in limp mode after that because of the exhaust back pressure sensor. So I thought it was clogged up, so I got myself a new one. But embarrassingly enough, as I checked the sensor, it was just unplugged. But I've never actually replaced this, and the truck rolls a bunch of coal. So it's probably all gunked up anyways. So let's get to that. Looks like a pretty easy job. We're gonna take off this wheel well cover, and then after that, it should be a hard line that comes from here to the top over there. And shouldn't take too long, but I guess we'll see. The wheel well out, got the sensor out. It's actually not half bad. It definitely has soot in it though, so maybe it's good I'm doing it anyways. Have a little bit of a wiring mess here. Years back I had sold the truck and they put a whole bunch of, why is it not focusing? They put like underglow and light bars and everything, so I actually just found this little mess, so I got to clean that up. I do not like that, even though it's hidden underneath the wheel well. I've actually never seen this before, so looks like we got some cleaning up to do. But that sensor runs up there and connects right there, so it's really not too bad once you're able to take out the fender well, but these jank wires were kind of in my way. But let's get it back in and see if it runs better now. So I got the new sensor in. We got Zach back there. He's actually draining the transmission. We're just doing drain and fill and redoing the filter. This transmission is actually new. This is like the stage 4 or 5 or whatever, like the one of the best ones you could get, billet converter and everything from Warren Diesels. So this is actually the first oil change it's getting. So we'll be doing this and the engine oil, and then I'll get it started and see if it starts throwing those crazy codes again or not. And yes, I know last video a long time ago, I said I'd get this done, the front drive line. I'm going to, I promise. I promise. I think. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. This is gonna take forever. Oh yeah, way faster.
You could probably just set it.
Got that engine oil next. Honestly, it doesn't even have a lot of miles on it because I barely drive the truck, but definitely been in there for some time, so probably about that time. A little bit of a jump from up here. Doing oil filters. It's gonna go through the gears, like 5 seconds each gear, just to get the fluid through there, and then we'll check it again. Get the grill all put on. And then we gotta put on the big wheels, and then let's take this thing out for a test drive, make sure it runs good.
The trash bags go on the trash.
Mama. Catch. Got these new things because I was going to get them powder coated since those were messed up, but these are a little bit too short, so these are just temporary, I guess. We'll see how they look without them being blue. I'm letting the big truck warm up. We're about to go make sure that's good, go on a little test drive. In the meantime, we're gonna back Platy up, go do the transmission fluid and the engine oil as well, just so I know what's going on with this thing. The Platy in. Wide load Empire shout out real quick. We got Airdog goodies. I got a Airdog, I almost said Fass. Airdog 165 lift pump for the F3 Platy. We're gonna get this thing ready to tow the big truck around actually, so I thought I'd do some performance parts. This is just the first of it. If you look over there, I have the CB40 DCR pump, which is what I mentioned earlier from S&S Diesel. Cool. And then I have some more engine performance parts coming, but I think that's gonna come next week. So that'll be in another video. That's like the intercooler pipes and possibly a turbo, possibly new tunes. But anyways, let's go do a tutorial of this thing. So let's do a little unboxing. So we got some fuel line here. I assume there's gonna be some sort of push fittings in here. We'll get to that in a second. We got ourselves our harness to ground it and to run through our, probably to tap into our OEM wiring, I assume. I guess we'll see. Some manuals, we don't need that. We got our brackets. This usually goes on the side of your frame like so. Clamps it against your frame, and then that mounts your lift pump. We got our actual pump. On the big truck, I have a 220. This is a 165. I won't need anything more than this. Actually, this looks different. This is the 5G version. I don't think I have this version on the, I should actually get it on the big truck, but these are really quiet. I had this on my old truck that I sold. Really quiet and easy to install and gets the job done. I think it's like get up to 750 horsepower or something, so plenty. And here, got something to cut. Let's see, we got, oh, okay, so here's the push fittings I was just talking about. So that's cool. Some hardware. So this is for the lines to splice into, I believe, and a spacer for the brackets. And anyways, let's get started. All right, so the first step is you get these push fittings on the lift pump, and then next we're gonna, from what it looks like, I did end up taking out the directions. Who am I kidding? All right, so we got the fittings on, we got this bracket on. So what it is the little packaging comes with some, all right, so we're making some progress here. We got the fittings on, we got the bracket on. Just run some bolts on each corner. There's 4 of them. And if I tilt this over, this has a spacer, and then this gets mounted onto your frame. This has different adjustment holes depending on your year, make, model. I like to usually hang mine lower, so that's why I just put mine on the lowest setting, but I guess I won't know until I get it on the truck and see where it's gonna sit. But that has flush bolts that go through there, lock nuts, make sure that it's tight. And the next step is putting on the push fittings onto the hose and then kind of mocking this up on the frame. But first we're gonna go to Sonic because we kind of want a slushy right now. It's like, yep, it's like 10 o'clock at night and we haven't drank nothing, so we're gonna get something to eat and to drink, and we'll get back to this. We're gonna take out the big truck too, to, if you can see it, to make sure that's good and hopefully we don't break down, because I plan on getting this all done tonight. Zach finished the maintenance on this truck, so we're just gonna finish with the Airdog for tonight. All right, we're back. All right, so now we're underneath the truck. We're on the driver's side, or up by the transfer case. You're gonna see this whole deal. This is your factory lift pump. So it looks like this has to be removed, and this is where the Airdog is gonna go. All right, so we got this big old ugly thing out of here. I believe these were 1/2-inch nuts on the other side of the frame, so on this side of the frame. And these quick connects weren't too bad. That one gave me a hard time, but it's off now, so on to the next step. The next step, this yellow quick disconnect line, whatever you want to call it, is connected on this steel line. So this has to get cut by like a knife or razor blade, whatever you got. And the Airdog line, I believe, replaces this. So that's our next step, is cutting this off, or this one off, the yellow. Cut this one off and we'll replace it with the Airdog stuff. So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I need to get this done, so I just started getting it done. It's late, me and Zach are tired, so it is what it is. So you know that line they told you to cut? You definitely don't have to do that. I watched a video on it later and some guy just totally used the stock line to connect to this. It is what it is. I thought, like on other trucks, you have to route this feed line from the tank, but you actually don't. You could actually just use the OEM line, slip this over. It's not gonna leak from here. That connects to your feed line. I have my return underneath, and that Y's to my new line up to the Airdog, and then the factory line, the other blue fitting, connects to the Y as well. So that's my return line, and then that factory yellow connector just pops right on to the Airdog as well. So I can go more in depth if you guys have questions, just leave it in the comments. I'm willing to help you guys out, whatever. And then I'm wiring the harness. This just goes straight up to the battery and just grounds. Zach's filling up the transmission right now. It grounds, and then the lead obviously goes to the battery, and then you got to plug in the fuse number 56, I believe. I'm in the fuse box, and then that's wired up to your ignition. So that's pretty much that. Let's see if it all works. Let me clean up all this wiring mess, and yeah. So again, the feed line comes from here, slips onto the Airdog. This bottom line is the return. The blue fitting on the left side is return. It Y's into the Airdog, and from the other factory blue line, push fitting, and then the factory yellow fitting just snaps onto the other side of the Airdog, and then the harness just goes to your battery, and it should work perfectly fine. The factory harness, just bundle it up here. I'll probably zip tie all this, make sure it looks neat, and it should work. So if you guys have any questions, just ask me in the comments and I'll go more in depth. I could type it all out if need be, or make like a short about it, more in depth if need be. All right, we'll see if it starts. Got everything wired up. So mission accomplished, I think. We still got some stuff to zip tie. I'll explain why I got this truck in another video. It's 1 a.m. Me and Zach are exhausted. We got the big truck running. It's still in and out of limp mode. I think it has something to do with the actuator, the turbo actuator, so we'll check that out in another video. We'll finish this truck up in another video, but it runs. If you guys have any more questions about the Airdog, just let me know. I know I didn't do the best, not really even a tutorial, but just kind of showing what I was doing. So if you guys do have questions, just let me know. But until next time, whenever next time is, I'm just randomly uploading at this point. See y'all.